Hi, I'm Abu, aka Big Fresh,
Big Fresh is in the building.
and this is my golden hour. I'll go to this one.
Wait, great guy.
Great guy. This is a great guy too. We're both great guys.
Oh God, what's going on? Where am I going? Dad?
Yes, my son. I am Deuce, the deer god.
I'm so confused. Who am I?
Derek. Your true name is Darkules. Darkules.
Wait, what?
Yes. You are Darkules, the god of the forest. Season 5.
Hosted by your favorite podcast host, Big Bochi. You already know the deal, mother. What's up? Continue.
So,
You're famous.
nah, not yet. I was DJing a show last night at Sonia. Shout out to my guy Jay Polished. And there were like 8 people performing before him. So it's like all their friends come in, and then they just kind of like leave after their friends perform. So like in and out, if you count it up, it's probably like 150, 200 people. But
When it was fattest, though, what was it?
I want to say like at least 50 or 60. Yeah.
So you could lay down the law for a solid 50 and 60 people, correct?
I'd like to think so. Yeah.
What's the biggest set you've ever played?
So, our crew, BLNC, we do these yearly shows called One.
The sales pitch.
Yeah. Little plug.
So before we get into balance, though, I initially thought it was blanc.
Yeah, right?
Which
A lot of
everyone
people
does,
have said
right?
that to me too, yeah.
It makes sense now, though.
Yeah.
Especially when you send me the logo, I get it. But can you kind of, before you start dipping into everything, kind of explain like the poetic version of why you chose balance?
Yeah.
This was like the wildest thing of all time. This guy Abu thinks pretty intrinsically.
So I don't know. I was just in college, just kind of, under pressure from all these different things, trying to make it in music, trying to do well in school, appease my parents, all that. And then, as I thought more of it, it's like, in order to be in the best state mentally, you got to have balance in all these different aspects. So you got to balance all these things. So I thought that was a cool name for what we were trying to do, because we were trying to balance, being a student and working side jobs and trying to do music gigs where we're not getting paid because no one really knows us. So
How do you think your balance is now compared to then? So what was this, 2-3 years ago?
yeah, definitely better, just because once you're out of school, it's a lot less pressure. At least you go to work during the day, and then at night it's
You live your second and third life.
Yeah. I basically did. Yeah.
Bro, I'm struggling with balance so bad.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, that's because you do way too much shit, dude. I don't know how you can manage all that.
I know, but I just really my motor has picked up a lot recently, and I feel like I'm less effective. I do more, but I'm less effective in the things I do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you're spreading across too many things. Yeah.
And so I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I tunnel focus on 4 or 5 things?
Are you ever able to put your podcast hat on when you come here, and then put your Jerry Pelota hat on when you go to work?
That, but
you're still thinking about other stuff in the back of your mind.
I'm just too tapped.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get better, though. It will happen over time. So before we move on, do you want to give a quick synopsis of who you are, or would you like me to do it? I'll give you the sales pitch.
Yeah.
So, about 2 months ago, maybe 2.5 months ago. Actually, this started before.
Yeah.
I don't know initially when we had
We
met.
first...
it was on Instagram?
We were
maybe?
in contact in Instagram, yeah.
Why?
Cause
Did I hit you up? I probably hit you up.
You hit me
songs,
up.
Right?
You were like, yo, sweet beats. And I was like, yo, cool skits that you guys are doing on YouTube. And then I think because you went to Providence College.
Yeah. And then you're, yo, you know Mia Casper?
Yeah. Shout out Mia Casper.
Shout out to Mia.
And then, yeah.
No, well, I think, and then I hit you up in the DM. I was like, yo, man, I'm throwing this concert. I'd love for you to come. I think you bought a ticket, but you couldn't come.
Some shit came out. I can't forget.
So I think I was just following you on IG, and then I'd seen you at Connis's listening party.
Yeah. At the
And
lily pad.
you were blitzed. you were blitzed. You will love the moments. Energy, substance. So I think we were talking about the studio a little bit, and then randomly, if you guys got me on Snapchat, you know I put up the lineup videos consistently. Abu was at the barbershop, and I was like, dude, I'm looking for like a banging producer.
Did you go recently? Your cut looks fresh right now, dude.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
I did.
I'm a little dusty myself, man.
So the lines are still sharp, though.
Yeah. I try.
It's just the best feeling in the
It's
world.
these good genes, man.
Who do you usually go when you get there, Maynol?
I don't have a guy. Yeah. When I used to go to this barbershop called Waltham's Finest.
Oh, I know right where that is.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And I had my guy Eddie there.
And then you left Eddie and went to
No,
the
Eddie
Primos
left
boys.
me, man.
Where'd he go?
He went to Titletown Barbershop in Natick.
Dude, it's competitive with these barbers.
For real,
They
dude,
they
yeah.
open up their own shops.
Yeah. I mean, so I guess like the way they run it is like each barber, they basically rent a chair from the shop.
$500 a month normally.
Okay. I didn't know the number, but yeah, and then like whatever you make like on top of that is just like you keep it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I asked them, well, let me just continue real quick.
Yeah,
So I saw Boo at the barbershop, and for a long time, I was just like, I need just a savvy producer who is much smarter than I am, especially on a technical end. And I was like, damn, Abu's that guy. But the most interesting thing about Abu is, although he's an extremely talented producer for the show, so he's been cutting up a lot of the clips you guys see, he has his hand in so many different things and understands so much stuff that is way over my head. He's wildly creative. He makes dope beats. He does live sets DJing. He works a job in like information technology,
Like software development. Yeah.
software development. Andy's a great guy. Andy's inquisitive. Andy's kind. Shout out to you, bro.
Thank you, man.
Have you enjoyed the podcast thus far?
Yeah, dude. It's weird like being on this side of everything now.
Because you're always in that seat.
Yeah, just like watching, but yeah, it's cool. I think it's cool to just be on like a production environment, which I haven't like really been on, and then also I think it's like dope to just meet all these guests that you have on, because I think they're all like very interesting people.
I know. Has the show at least provided you a little bit with like, damn, there's way more to Boston
Oh,
than you
for
had
real?
known
Yeah, yeah.
initially?
Just because you know, for a while I was just so focused on like the Boston music scene.
As was I.
But like there's just like all these other entrepreneurs just period from Boston, like doing their own thing, trying to make it grow, trying to make it happen.
I know, and I mean, one thing about the show which has been dope is it's kind of crossed the line
Mm-hmm.
between a lot of these things, but like, there's not. I'm just hoping we can make things in the city more cohesive through the show.
Right,
You
yeah.
know,
Mhm.
that's one like big goal of mine. But additionally, why don't you just kind of give a quick synopsis of who you are and what you do,
Sure.
and tell them what your real name is, because it's still got like 5 million names.
So I usually go by Boo. That's my like nickname that I've had since I was little. But my full name, like my government name, is like Arumbold Butchergal.
Aaron Bold but Jargle.
Yeah,
Did I say right?
yeah. So that's a Mongolian name, and I was born in Mongolia. Moved to the States around 2005 when I was like 18. I mean, not 18, 8. And
And
then
like, how old are you, bro?
yeah.
She's like 40. I'm like, what's going on here?
And then lived in Waltham, Massachusetts for basically my whole life. Like grew up there.
So, do you kind of want to explain like how you started getting into music a little bit and the
Yeah.
creative side of things?
Sure.
Have you always just been creative, or or is it a discipline?
I
thing?
guess like I was always into music, like just ever since I was little. Like I just loved like listening to music.
What was your earliest favorite?
I was listening to this like one Mongolian dude called Bolt. Well, like the Mongolian pronunciation is like Bolt, but like it's spelled
B-O-L-D.
B-O-L-D. Yeah.
And what was he, like a pop
And
star?
like he was like one of like the first like kind of like pop stars of that generation that I kind of grew up with.
What is Mongolian sonically, the music like? Is it like K-pop?
So he, that dude was making just some like, you know, like regular old like R&B type stuff, you know, like the Tyrese's and like the
That's hilarious.
yeah. So like,
but
like
in
the-
Mongolian.
but in Mongolian, yeah. So like, it's almost like I definitely remember like some of the instrumentals like that I've heard like of his that like I, as I grew up, I learned that they were like from like other like American R&B songs. He's kind of like ripped the instrumental and like sang over it.
And so then you move here when you're 8, and what's the first track you remember? When we were 8, I remember Ludacris's rollout was big.
Yeah.
The Massacre was coming out right around that time. 50 Cent Massacre. Destiny's Child was hot.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of that stuff?
Not really, honestly, because when I first came here, I was still listening to like the Mongolian stuff because
understand
like that's
English,
all I
right?
knew. Yeah, right. And then, but one of the things that like still like to this day I remember is I think like in like
bro.
in like 5th or 6th grade we had like a snow day, and then like I'm just watching like MTV like at like 8 or 9 a.m. in the morning, just doing nothing, and then the Kanye West Good Life video came on, and you know how he's got all those like animations and like drawings like kind of like dancing around him. I was like, wow, what is this? Like, who is this guy?
This is the most
and then
enhancing experience. of
oh
all
my
time.
god, dude, like what a video, and like with that T-Pain feature, just like such a great track. So that was my first experience like listening to Kanye West music, and then ever since then I was hooked, and like I really think he's like one of the guys that like kind of inspired me to like produce and like do all these things, because he's kind of like a do it all by himself kind of guy.
It's crazy how many. I mean, obviously, people are pretty polarized in their opinions of Kanye now.
Right.
But it's crazy how much impact he's had for creatives everywhere you go.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
like one of the most inspirational creatives.
almost like
ever.
every single artist I've met, like music artists, like they've always just like had the highest praise for Kanye in like terms of like creativity and like inspiration and all that.
Did he mix his own songs? You know.
I don't think that he mixed them, but he definitely like produces a lot of his own songs.
You could probably mix them if you wanted. I'm
Probably,
sure.
yeah.
How many hours does he spend in the studio? You know.
Yeah.
So, you move here when you're 8, right?
Yep.
And your family, what is their motivation of moving from Mongolia to come here?
So actually, my mom was she got accepted into grad school at Brandeis, which is funny enough where I went to
Which
college.
is your alma mater as well.
Yep.
Play that family card to get in.
And then so like that was like, it was a good opportunity for her to get an education, and then it was a good opportunity for me and my brother to, have like an upbringing here.
How old's your brother?
My brother is 5 years older than me, so probably 27, 28
Right,
at this
okay.
point. Yeah.
He still lives in Walthammer.
He lives in Watertown. Him and his wife.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
He's married. They got a kid on. They got a kid soon.
I don't know
or what?
about that, but maybe.
Uncle Abu. Yes, sir.
I'd love to be an uncle, dude. I think I'd be a great uncle.
What about a dad? You think you'd be a great dad?
I think I'd be a great dad too. But
I think you'd be an awesome dad.
Yeah.
I don't know about me, man. Whoa. Though I worry about having kids sometimes because it's like, dude, what if you just bring an absolute monster into this world?
Right? Yeah, I think about that too.
Like,
Oh, man.
like, what if you get with a chick and then you guys have a kid and it gets the worst characteristics from both of you?
Oh.
Dude.
Yeah, dude. It's definitely a possibility because, like, I don't know. I feel like kids definitely pick up on things that you don't like intend to kind of like project to them.
Well, sometimes I wonder if they're going to be born with some of the worst qualities that you have.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible.
I mean,
Yeah.
genetics are wild.
Yeah.
What would you say your worst quality is? Like,
Wow.
what would you want to work on the most?
Like periodically I get into these slumps where like I'm just like very unmotivated. So like there are things on like my like like to-do list like in my mind, but I'm just like have no motivation to like do any of them.
Have you ever just written them down?
I've tried like I had like a little like whiteboard. So like the
Everyone's got one of those.
yeah, right, the little like goal board.
You haven't touched
Yeah,
it in months, right?
years.
It's still, are all the same notes still there?
No, I like erased them at this point. But,
word.
yeah.
It was pissing you off, so you just erased it. Oh shoot,
Ooh.
we're good. Just
Right.
clip for a second. It's my headphones. Okay, so you move here when you're 8 from Mongolia, correct?
Yep.
Elaborate on what that's like for your family. Are you like nervous? Are you shocked? You're leaving everyone behind. Like you're on the other side
like,
of the planet, bro.
Funny enough, I remember right before we were leaving, we were at like the Mongolian airport, and then like I got this like very like I was like an 8-year-old kid. I don't really understand my emotions and all that, but like I got this like overwhelming like urgency of like damn, I'm leaving like home and like everything I know behind. So I'd start bawling at the airport, like as
You
we're
remember it vividly.
yeah, because like my cousins were like looking at me through the window,
They're
like,
like,
what is he doing? Like, why is he just like bawling his eyes out right now? But after that, I was just I was like excited, you know, because it's like new territory, new things that I see every day, and then
That's a lot when you're 8, though.
yeah, right. And then I think my like parents probably were just like freaking out in the back of their mind because like you know they're bringing 2 young kids into a country that they don't really know much about.
What was the status of Mongolia at the time politically?
I think it was democratic, so it's like a I think they were under you know like the Russian influence until about like, don't quote me on this, but until about like the 70s or the 90s, and then they kind of did this slow transition into a democratic government.
But it wasn't tumultuous, correct? It wasn't like your parents were leaving because...
No. We had a pretty good life there. Like you know, it's like the Mongolia is like very interesting. It's like a very like vivid mix of like this old traditional like nomadic lifestyle where like you know like you're
You
living
picture like villages and stuff
yeah
like that.
yeah. So like people have like the yurts, you know, like those like little like circular tents.
I don't actually. Do I have my phone? How do you spell yurt?
YURT. That's like I've learned that that's like the English kind of name for it. In Mongolian, it's called a gir.
A gur.
Yeah.
And so you were living in one of these?
No, I
Like one of those?
yeah. My grandparents used to, cause like after they retired, that's just like what they wanted to do, and so they had like a little like handful of like livestock that they kind of like live off of. And it's pretty cool. Yeah.
They still live on a farm?
No, my so my grandmother passed away, and so my grandfather couldn't do it like all by himself. So he's just like chilling in his own crib now, like a actual house.
And not in a yurt.
Nah. But
You know what these look like? Have you ever seen that scene in Harry Potter when there's
yeah.
that big like Quidditch?
Oh, it's
cup?
exactly like that, but it's like
And they
not,
like open up and it's this
it's not a
huge tank?
mansion on the inside. It's just small.
Is it self-heated or is it gas heated?
I guess it's self-heated because like one, it's like pretty well insulated because the whole outside is like wool and like all these different layers of things. So not only is it warm in the winter, but it's also cool in the summer because like you know it's got the shade on the inside. But traditionally it's like you can think of it as like a teepee almost, but like a little flattened down, and then it's like a circle, and then traditionally in the middle there's a big like wood stove. And then you can
What's the climate like?
It really depends on the season.
It ranges, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mongolia's a big country.
Yeah, it's huge, but the population's only like 3 million, I think. So
Small,
it's
smaller than Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
but
yeah.
land-wise, how big?
land-wise probably it's massive.
Like here to Kansas?
I think so. Yeah. If
So
you
half
like
the US kind of.
yeah. Maybe
3
a little
million
more than
people?
half. And it's just like so much land.
Sounds boring.
Right? So like, you know, there's the handful of big cities where it's like, you know, tall skyscrapers, big buildings, all that, like traffic congestion, your typical city stuff. But then once you go out to the countryside, it's like, it's very eerie because when you look down at like the mountains or something, you see nothing for miles.
It must be nice though, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes it's nice, but like when I was little, like it always gave me this like uneasy feeling. It's like being like the only person in like, you know, like hundreds of square miles, you know?
Yeah, I went to Alaska like 3 summers ago, and I was in a helicopter. Rich people problems, right? but we were flying up onto this glacier, and we ascended like above the summit of this mountain, and you could just see for thousands of miles just white-capped mountains.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that is like the most grand thing of all time. Like the earth is so powerful. Is that kind of the same feeling?
It's so surreal, right? To just like see like,
because we're so used to
nature.
just being in like tight quarters where we live. And
Yeah.
So you're in Mongolia. Well, question, what is Mongolia's status in terms of like as an economic force in the world? Is it a powerful economy? What do they provide? What's their export?
I don't know too much about this, but if I had to guess, I wouldn't say it was that powerful of a economic force, just because you know we don't have that many people, and of the 3 million, like a small amount are actually like working and like you know like contributing to like the overall economy of the country.
What do most people do?
It's like various things, you know, like their job.
Agriculture a lot, or
It depends because there's a big wealth gap right now. So like, you know, the top 5-10%, whatever it is, they're doing all the banking and the government, and like they're kind of, you know, running with the corrupt government officials, kind of running everything. So they have like a stronghold on like the decisions that happen, and then the rest
an
of
oligarchy.
yeah, basically, and then the rest are like either like agriculture, like farmers. Well, farmers is like a weird term because there's not a lot of like actual like things growing in the ground. It's more like keeping livestock alive, so like sheep, cows, goats, all of that.
And do you know their major trade partners? Is it within Asia? And is Mongolia considered Asia?
Yeah, because it's sandwiched right in between Russia and China. So,
and so is Russia considered Asia? I know it sounds like a dumb question.
I've always thought that, yeah, because they have like a little bit that extend into Europe, but like for the most of it, it's like in Asia.
Well, there's one really interesting thing about this geographic region is that like if you go to one end of Russia, people seem very white and very Western, but then you can go to another end where people like look nearly Chinese.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that the same thing with Mongolia, or?
No, like Mongolians are just like
Asian,
yeah, through and through. But I think you might be thinking of like Kazakhstan, like around that area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think that's like
in India, there's parts of Russia that border India too.
Yeah. So I think that's like the regions where those people have like kind of like mixed in over time, and that's probably like why they look the way they do. But like I think in Kazakhstan they either speak like Russian or some form of Russian.
Kazakhstani.
Yeah.
Something like that. So you move here when you're 8.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom becomes a student instantaneously, and what
Yep.
does your dad do? Start a business?
So when we first started, my dad was just like hustling, doing whatever he could. So I think like he was right, like initially when we got here, he was like delivering pizzas, delivering like newspapers at like 5 a.m. in the morning, just trying to get that bag like whatever way possible, which is like something I highly respect, because like you could just come here and be like, all right, like I don't know anyone, I'm just gonna sit at home and chill. But he was like, nah, like I'm gonna go get it.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Did he stack up a lot of bread in Mongolia before he got out here?
They probably did, yeah, because you know they're smart people. They wouldn't come with like a backup plan, yeah. But after that, he.
This is in Waltham. He's delivering pizzas.
Yeah, well, we were living in Woburn for like a month or so, and then we moved to Waltham. But so now he has his own like business where he like contracts out like shuttle rides for dialysis and like hospital patients.
So how did he do that though? How did he transition? And
so-
did he speak okay English?
Yeah. Well, at the moment, back then probably not, but like now his English is like very good. Yeah, fluent. Yeah. But I think he got into that business because he started working as like one of the drivers, and then he saw an opportunity where it was like, all right, like I could do this for myself, and I don't have to like work for this guy. Like I don't think there was any like negative like relationships there, but
He was like, I just have the skill set to do it on my own.
And so he was like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and then he got it done.
Wow. Yeah. Has that ever brushed off on you, like some of the entrepreneurial sense?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's why I have this sense of like I want to do everything myself, which like at a certain point can like kind of like like keep you from progressing forward, but like also at the same time I think it's just like a good mentality to have. Bro. Yeah.
That's why I like working with you, is because it's not like I have to like micromanage or like anything like that. I just be like, yo, bro, what do you think? You're like, all right, yeah, let's just get it done.
Right.
Have you noticed there's benefits to moving with a team who's equally as driven?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like,
is it tough for you? Like, do you feel slowed down if you're working with someone who's slow?
Yeah, because
I hate it.
It just like bugs me. And then like the nice thing about like working with a team who's like on like the same page and like same like
wavelength,
who have like basically balance. Is that like, you know, not only can you like delegate things to like other people and like trust them that they're gonna get it done, but also like they're just like extra motivation for you to go harder and like do all these things, because they're like, all right, like I got this and done, and then I say to myself like, damn, like all right, I gotta get my stuff done, because I don't want to just like leave them like hanging out to dry, like doing all the work kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, and I actually like working with other people, especially like I like working with you, because it's like, okay, Abu won't be here, but we got to keep this podcast going, right? Like,
Right.
We can't stop. So let me line up great guests. Let's run great episodes, and let's just keep the motor going, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we had this conversation, I think, at Starbucks, but this is kind of a segue. So you and I are in some boss talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've asked this a million times in episodes, but you and I are in some boss talk in 20 years, right?
Yeah.
You're very creatively diverse. You have a bunch of different passions. Where would you like to be positioned? And you're on some boss shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you really are. You're killing it.
Yeah. I think ultimately I'm trying to be on my Diddy or
Yes, sir.
A-Track.
Yes, sir. That's my guy. Let's go.
Because I would either want to have a record label under me or just a whole creative agency, because that's what I'm really passionate about in life. But I think I would merge the creative aspect with some
that business.
with that business and the technology, because that's what I'm really passionate about too. So something technologically innovative that's tailored towards the arts and creative people, and then some business that involves all of those. And I've had a couple ideas, but nothing solid yet that I'm
So you have an
chasing.
idea. It's not a vivid concrete plan though.
It's
yet.
I have the destination of where I want to go and what I want to do. I just don't have the vehicle for doing that.
We'll get there though, right?
Yeah.
How important is it to grow it out of Boston? Because you like traveling. Abu was just in New York getting smacked up, just traveling and doing tourist
Just
stuff.
traveling.
I mean, excuse me.
I think it's pretty important that I build that here, because one, I grew up here, so I have a love for Boston. But
You got your American start here too.
Mhm.
I don't know if that matters to you at all, but
yeah.
okay.
But what I see from some of the artists that may get popular from Boston is their immediate move is to go to LA or New York, which if the labels trying to get you to do it and that's how you're gonna get that bag, is fine. But I feel a lot of people they like to say, oh, there isn't a good music scene, or
There's no resources.
there's no
Get
creative
outta
scene
here,
in
bro.
Boston. But why not build those resources and be the person that helps the next generation be oh, I'm glad I grew up in Boston. It's really helped me foster my creative
Yeah,
strength
we're on
and
the
all those
same
things,
page.
right? Yeah. So my thought is instead of complaining about it, why not do something about it? So
Yeah, we are literally in the same wavelength. And, well, you'll hear the Dave Wedge episode, bro. So I asked him yesterday, I was like, what is it going to take for Boston to become a major entertainment market? Mind
Right.
you, this guy he has the ability to start up a big movie studio
Mhm.
here. Hollywood eyes are after him. They like his books. His book turned into Patriots Day. He's done all
Right.
this stuff. He's working with Netflix. He was like, it will never happen.
straight up.
He's just the roots are just too deep in New York and LA. But I was like, okay, it will never be New York or LA, but could there be a market here, and could
Right.
it get people jobs? He was like, absolutely.
Hmm.
So that's from an industry expert. But Dave, watch what me and Abu do.
Yeah.
So you start ingratiating yourself over time into Boston music. When did that happen? In college or in high school? Do you remember Melfi?
I remember hearing about Mafi. I wasn't never a huge fan. I also know that band Air. It's AER.
Oh, I forgot about it.
Yeah, right. They were also popping in high school too,
Girls loved them.
right? And then that dude Sammy Adams,
Sammy Adams,
yeah,
yes,
Boston
sir.
boy.
Yes, sir.
But I got into music production in high school, freshman year. Very the early steps. I was not good at all, just jamming out, doing my own thing in my bedroom. But once I got to college, the first thing was I met my homie Kyle Ryder.
Shout out to Kyle.
Shout out to Kyle. He was also a music producer, and we were both using this software called Ableton, which is
Familiar.
yeah. So Ableton and FL are kind of and Logic are the three big main production softwares.
Well, it depends. You go to FL for those drums, right?
Right. Yeah.
You go to Logic for recording live instruments normally, right?
I guess, but you can really do the same thing on all three. It's just some make it easier, some make it harder to do certain things. So you kind of got to figure out what works for you. But so I met Kyle, and then he's like teaching me all these like cool like tricks on Ableton, and like just making me a better like producer in the period, you know. So after that, I think that's when I really leveled up and started making some like marketable stuff, quote unquote. And then after that, I met my homie Marcelo. He goes by Jerome B. That's his stage name. But he's from Somerville, and he went to Brandeis, and we, I think, met through some like mutual friends, and I found out he was a rapper, and I was like, perfect, and I got beats. And so there's like this little like.
So were you aware during this time that there was a prevalent Boston music scene?
Not at all. I like knew, you know, like these guys like Air and like whatever, but like I, you know, those like
you didn't know about all these people performing at the Middle East. And stuff
I thought
like that.
those dudes were like, you know, like one in a million who like kind of like blew up by chance and like are doing their thing. I was like, all right, that's fine, but like I didn't know there was like a network of people like who were like really like getting after it. So me and Marcelo link up, and then we were recording in this studio in the library that was probably like half the size of this room.
Wow.
It was like just the two of us like packed in there trying to like record. Like it's hot in there, there's no fans, just grinding.
Like a Friday night type thing you're going on?
Not even, just like whenever we got the chance. So
Nice.
like Monday through Friday, on the weekends, everywhere. And then so we actually got a few projects out of that. So we did that for like 3-4 years straight.
In the library?
Yeah, in the library.
Wow.
Like, and then sometimes like in my room, I had my speakers up, but I didn't have a mic at the time.
Is this early college or?
This is probably starting late freshman, sophomore year.
Okay,
Yeah. So pretty early. Yeah, and then like through him, I met Connis, and then.
A GDP alum?
Yep. And then.
Where his signature is. What?
Is it? I don't know.
Should say Connis.
And then through Connor, I met Go-Go, who I've done
Substance.
Who I've done a lot of work with lately, and we've been making some good stuff, and hopefully we'll continue to make some
Hey,
good
Connor and Go-Go. Anytime I ask Abu who he likes in the city, Abu says you two, man.
stuff. It's the truth, dude. I really like those guys. I believe they're gonna make it, and they're doing some dope shit.
And they're wicked original.
Yeah. And then my guy Jerome B too. We got some stuff in the works right now that we're cooking up. He was actually here a couple weeks ago, recording with Josh. But yeah, what was I talking about? It's very easy for me to like get like sidetracked. So
me too, and I got like no focus today, so I'm trying my best to lead a good one here.
Yeah.
So
right, so Boston music scene, and then so like once I start meeting all these people, you know, like
what's your first trip to the Middle East? Because that's when once you get in there, it's like, okay, I kind of see what's going on with the independent scene in the city.
Yeah. Honestly, I think my first time at the Middle East was when I was DJing for Marcelo. So we were opening up for these dudes. This dude Wiki out of New York. Have you heard of him?
Never.
So he's pretty big in like the New York like underground scene, like the underground rap scene. But he was Marcelo's like favorite rapper, and so he was like, "Yo, like it'd be so sick if I can like open up for him." And I was like, "Word, like I'll DJ your set. Like I got like all the stuff on my computer. I got you." And then we pulled up, and like I think DJ Lucas was there too. Shout out DJ Lucas. And then that was the first time I met Rilla Force. He's just like this tall ass dude, just like fucking just going off on the turntables. And then that was my first time at the Middle East, and I got to like interact with all these artists, and I thought it was just like so cool.
Do you like independent music? Because I kind of feel like that's what you gravitate towards.
Yeah, because that just, at least at the moment, that's what feels most authentic to me. And like
you're not big into some of the commercial stuff.
I mean, like some stuff I like, but like the other ones I feel like it's just like too saturated, you know, like it's like the thing about like, you know, when you're writing songs at the level of like Beyonce and like Rihanna is that like there's like 20-30 people that have their hands in that song like when you release it. So there's like, you know, like all these people like writing for you, trying to get your lyrics right and like trying to make it like most like palatable to a wide like range of audiences. And then there's like the producer who's trying to be like, you know, like this has got to be a radio hit. Like we don't want to take too many.
You
like
think it dilutes from the creativity?
Yeah. Like
what's a formula at a certain point?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And then like, you know, they found what works for them. Obviously, you know, they're able to create all these stars and pump out all these hits, but that just like doesn't resonate with me as much.
But do you like the story of an independent artist turning commercial?
Yeah, like the Chance the Rapper story, kind of.
Did you like the new album?
I'm starting to. It's growing on me definitely. I think like when I
He's the definition of just keeping it authentic.
yeah. I think like when it first came out, I was a little too influenced by the memes.
I didn't see him.
Just like a lot of the memes are
Were
like,
people ripping on him?
yeah, like there's one funny one. It's like it's some dude like mocking his voice, but he's like he's singing like, "Ooh, I love my wife. Let's go ride a bike." Like it's like, you know, trying to say that.
shower.
Yeah, it's trying to say that like his album's just like this like cheesy like generic like Wonder Bread type of thing.
I
But
think
like
he's like being corny.
yeah, and like but like the more I listen to it, you know, it's like the beats are good, like his bars are on point, so like it's growing on me.
Yeah, but and still like something to be said to just being yourself, man.
Yeah. I
Imagine-
mean, you can't blame him for being in a really good spot in his life, you know?
It's awesome.
I think I would rather have him make like genuinely happy songs and positive things rather than, you know, being this guy like
And he dominates that niche.
right, yeah. And then but like I would not want to have him, you know, be this like happy guy in real life and then try to make all these like fake sad and like deep songs that like don't feel genuine, you know?
I really like all of his tapes. I really
What's
like
your favorite
Coloring
one?
Book.
Coloring Book, yeah, I like that
Coloring
one
Book
too.
reminded me of when I had just started making videos, like when I had really just started hustling like all the time.
Mhm.
And I was working for Grubhub. And
Oh.
it just came out. And I would just drive around. I'd listen to like mixtape and like Same Drugs and Smoke Break. Like, I
Yeah,
loved it.
yeah.
I'd be going through your neighborhood too. You know, Demos, that restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be scooping food from there consistently. You know, a little swipe, take a little bite, drop it off at the crib. So, you do appreciate when independent artists can turn commercial.
Yeah. Like
But are you ever nervous it's going to dilute the art? 'Cause that's the goal for all independent
Right,
artists. Whether
yeah.
they say or not, like, I want to be independent my whole life. No, humans want to be successful.
Right.
Humans want to do better for themselves,
Mhm.
you know?
yeah, it's interesting because on one side, you know, like staying independent means you have full creative control and you can make the things that you want and you can express yourself the way you want, right? But then on the other hand, if you get signed to a label, you have a lot of funding behind you. So not only can you do some really cool shit and like have all these big budgets for videos or like projects, but you know, they're really going to push the advertisement and like, you know, like the plaster you on billboards, do all these ads and stuff. And that's just going to increase your reach, I think.
I just hate when people they try to demote progress in someone's career. I think it's the stupidest thing ever.
In
Like-
what way?
Like, for instance, I hate when people are like, "Oh, well, this isn't that old stuff." Like, I've always hated when people say that.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, "Oh, we missed the old Drake." It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I hate that,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's anything more satisfying of seeing another human start to glow up.
Yeah.
I love it, bro.
I saw this really funny tweet where it had a gif of like someone who was just like disoriented and like, you know, having all these like mind blown type of moments, but like the quote was like, when you go to a concert and you realize the artist is a real person. And like I think that's and that was funny at the time, but like that just like made me think of that, because like when you idolize these artists so much, you're just like, wow, like this.
You hold them to a higher standard.
It's like, yeah, you think of them just like as like not even like
It's
a
an enigma.
human being. Yeah, it's like some kind of deity that's like just supposed to like pump out just music all the time. But like in reality, it's like these are people going through changes in their life and they're trying to express themselves and like get these stories out, and you're never going to get the same story out of them twice. So I don't think anyone should expect
Or you
the
will,
old
and it will
stuff
get, and it will
from
get boring.
artists. Yeah. I mean, right? Yeah. So like, you know, that's why like
That's why Drake's so great, dude.
yeah,
His
there are
music's-
some artists who have been making the same music for like the last 20 years, and that's why they haven't like quote unquote blown up. But then there's these other artists who are experimenting with their sounds and trying new things and seeing what people like and seeing what they like, and then through that they like find their sound, like their true sound, and then that's like what resonates with most people, because like that's like the most genuine form of them kind of coming through the speakers, you know.
How do you try to push yourself in breaking old habits? That's something I've been focused on a lot.
In terms of
recently.
like music production or just
everything
in general?
in your life.
I really think the best way to break old habits is to build better ones that fight those. So like,
Got Dr. Phil in the building.
Because like I always think, you know, like what can I do today that's just like a little bit that I can do that's gonna set me up for success in the future. So
Dude, we're
it's-
gonna be working together for years. I'm telling you.
it's kind of like you have all these like think of them as like Lego like little blocks. So if you like a block by itself isn't much, you know, it's just like this one little tiny thing, but if you can stack those up over time, you can have like a
Little pyramid.
little pyramid, little spaceship, whatever you want to build,
Little
dude. Yeah,
spaceship.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you going
yeah.
on the spaceship?
Yeah, that might be my vehicle, dude.
Oh, that'd
You
be
know?
fire. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you really have to like build those things. So like, and obviously like I'm not like some kind of like guru who's like got it all
I talk
figured
the
out.
same
but-
way though sometimes.
Right,
Because I
yeah.
just want to be successful so
Yeah.
bad that it's like you just in your mind you try to visualize and manifest like, okay, what's it going to take today to get a little bit forward?
Mhm. So for me, those goals are like, you know, like making at least one beat a day or doing at least like one kind of like video edit or like having my hand in something creative every day. And then, yeah, just like, you know, practice is like the age old saying, like practice makes perfect is like so true. Because you just got to keep doing it and little by little. And then before you know it, you'll be like a master of something.
Are you a patient? Do you deem yourself as patient?
I've grown to be more patient.
You seem much more patient than I am.
Yeah.
How do you balance it, and how did you develop it?
I don't think there's like a way that you can develop it by force. It's just like as you mature, I think that's just one of the things that you learn about life is that nothing comes easy or quick.
And
you
the
know-
good thing is you have to struggle for it,
Right.
all the good things.
And like especially in our generation, it's very hard to see all these people become like overnight sensations on social media and like be like, damn, like why can't
It's so
that happen to me?
instantaneous.
You know? But like the thing in reality is that like for them that might not be what they wanted at all, because you know like they're just gonna be known for that one thing for the rest of their life. They're just gonna be like, oh, like that's that dude who blew up on Vine, or that's that dude who had that YouTube video that blew up. So like if you can build yourself to that stature and like kind of learn all those things like on the path to, you know, like
I know what you're saying.
then I think you have more control
And
over like how you're going to be perceived and like how you go on from there.
You're more prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I was 19, I had said this a couple times, but so I'd started making my YouTube videos when I was 19.
Mhm.
And I was talking with my friend back then. I remember I was like walking around. I was walking my dog, and I was like, "Dude, I've been funny my whole life.
Mhm.
I'm gonna make 5 videos and I'll be in Hollywood." Like I literally thought that. I was like, I'm gonna literally make 5 videos, and one of them will go viral and I'll be blown up.
Mhm.
That's not the case.
No, but it's good to have those thoughts because, you know, that's what made you get started in the first place. You know, all these dreams and like goals and aspirations.
Yeah, but it's been over the past 3-4 years where you really start to cement yourself in like what you want to get done.
Right.
Especially all the L's. Like, have you ever taken
Oh, yeah.
vicious L's?
Mhm.
What's the worst?
I mean, I've had some like really bad like DJ sets.
I was like, get off the stage.
Not quite like gotten booed off, but like, you know, like I'll make some like mistakes that I know like in my head I would like, if I saw someone else do it, I would just be like, damn, this dude sucks. But you know, like
Wicked embarrassed?
what's up?
Were you wicked embarrassed?
Oh yeah. Like my face just like started like
I'm getting red.
getting
Oh,
red and
the
all
worst
that.
feeling.
Yeah. But you know, I've sent some like beats to artists with like no response, or like they'll be
Oh.
like, you know, like, oh, I'm not feeling this. Like that's like not
That's
quite
not
an L,
an
but
L,
like,
bro.
yeah.
You should see my emails. It's ridiculous. Have you had any other very embarrassing moments DJing?
No, nothing other than, you know, like a casual mistake or like cutting out the sound by accident or something. Actually, this turntable that I use right now, me and my boy Kyle, like we share it basically. It's kind of like toss it back and forth whenever we need it. But
He does live sets too.
yeah. At one point, it was like you couldn't DJ for more than like 10 minutes without like this terrible static coming up. And then, I was
crowd?
Huh?
Big crowd?
Yeah, funny enough, I was DJing a sorority, what did they call those? A formal at Brandeis.
Whoa.
And then, you know, I'm throwing down some like Drake or like whatever they like, and then it starts doing the static thing. And it's just like this terrible, just like loud, like crackling noise. Like the music's sort of playing, but like the static is like so overwhelming. So I cut the track. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and then this girl comes up. She's like, "What's going on? Like, where's the music?" And I'm like, "All right, like I'm trying to fix it. Just give me a few minutes." And then she's got these like big ass like nails on her hand, and then she starts like tapping on the table right in front of me, dude. And she's like not helping at all.
You were pissed.
Yeah, I like
choke slam.
I couldn't be like like GTFO because like it's their
Yeah.
thing, and I'm like I'm there to like kind of serve them a little bit. So we unplug everything.
I know that's so
reset all.
overwhelming for a DJ though when someone enters your zone like that.
Right, yeah.
Because everyone wants the attention of like being there.
Oh man, dude, I've had so many moments where like I'll be DJing somewhere and then people will just get on the stage and like start like dancing on the stage trying to like
Yeah. Because
attract
you're the
attention
center
from
of
people.
attention.
Yeah, it's like annoying. Just like go into the crowd and enjoy like with everyone else.
I know. Well, I know it's natural for people to just want more attention.
Yeah.
I threw a big party in Providence, and dude, the kid I had DJing, everyone was going up to him, and like people were going behind him. It was a sick party, but people were going behind him. They had headphones in, and they were like mocking him like this.
And then
He's
they'll
like, "Dude,
actually
get these
touch
people
the thing
the fuck
too.
out of here, man!"
And they'll actually like touch it and like interrupt the music and shit. It's like
You should
annoying.
just start pulling the Action Bronson, just start slamming people.
Yeah.
Bro, I will tell you.
I would hate to get slammed by Bronson, dude.
Dude,
He's a big boy.
Well, he's not even that tall, but he's powerful as hell, bro.
That Albanian strength.
I know, bro. I love his branding. He's a genius.
Yeah.
And it's dude.
He's just a master of words. I just love hearing him speak because he can say like the most beautiful, obscene
Connoisseur.
stuff. Yeah.
And he, dude, have you ever seen him like Action Bronson makes the world tastiest sandwich?
I feel like I've definitely seen that. Yeah, yeah.
Dude.
Was that a Munchie episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole series.
Oh,
My God. We gotta start getting chefs on the show.
yo, for real. Dude, like we should do a live like cooking podcast or something. That'd be so fire.
Well, one, you got to meet the keto kid, Nick. You'll
Okay.
love him.
A word.
But we should definitely do something in health soon,
Yeah.
wellness. So real quick, this is unimportant, but I want to tell you a quick L of mine. You ready?
Do tell.
Sure. So there was one time I was at my cousin's graduation party. This has nothing to do with career or anything like this, but I was at my cousin's graduation. I just got to get this off my chest.
Yeah.
I was at my cousin's graduation party, and I was 14 or 15. Actually, I was 15. It was my freshman year and of high school. And you know how graduation parties get boring. There might be a moon bounce. Their parents drinking underneath the white
Damn, you guys had a
tent.
moon bounce?
I didn't.
Oh.
There's a lot going on out here. Moving in couches, moving out couches. Whoa. But so listen, everyone's bored, so there's all these like family members there, whatever, and they're like, all right, let's play Red Rover. So I'm like 15, right? And they're like some 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, there's some 17-year-olds playing. It's like a big group of kids, right?
Right.
And so I have this tendency when a lot of people are around because I like to entertain. So I'm like, all right, yeah, let's do it, whatever. So someone on the other team had this bright idea that, you know what, to make the game most fair, let's do little kid, big kid, little kid, big kid in the link. You know how Red Rover works, right?
Yeah.
That way everybody has a fair shot of getting through, right? Mm-hmm. The one problem with that is that if you're a big kid, you got to run through a little kid. You know what I'm saying?
It just makes the most sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I'm priming my attack here. Like, where should I go? Where should I go?
Trying to find
So
the
I
weakest
see a
link.
16-year-old kid, but right next to him, there's like a 6-year-old girl. But I'm like, all right, and I'm not going to run full speed. So it was probably a solid 20-yard dash. I run full speed, right?
Wow.
Head down. Bro, the girl does not release her hand. She does not release her hand. So I body the little girl. I body the 16-year-old kid. They both fall down. And so her wrist, she didn't break her wrist. Like, she doesn't do it. So her wrist just hyperextends and bends back. And so I get up, and I'm, like, pumped because I, like, just bodied these two people, right? Like, let's fucking go. Girl starts bawling her eyes out, right?
Oh, man.
And so I'm like, oh, God. Everyone's looking at me. Everyone's looking at me. They're like, dude, what are you doing? All the parents are watching. I'm like, oh,
You
shit.
psycho.
It doesn't end there, right? She's bawling her eyes out. She's being a little dramatic. She wanted to get ice on her wrist, whatever. And so, dude, I kid you not, her dad was an Italian bodybuilder. right?
Oh, damn.
And I find out that her Italian bodybuilder
Was he
dad-
bigger than Mike?
Much bigger. And he's like 40, so he's got that dad. Bam!
Yeah.
Bro, he is searching for me.
Wow.
All over the party. So this is one of the weakest things I've ever done in my life. But I'm like, yo, this dad's about to beat my ass. Everyone's looking for me. There's a search party. I figure there's like helicopters above, dude. I don't even know what's going on. So I go and I hide in my sister's van. And I pull a blanket over me for 2 hours, bro.
Damn.
While they're looking for me, right? And so it comes out that the girl I hit was the neighbor of the person running the graduation party, right? So, dude, I swear to God, the dad finally finds me after 2 hours and rips open the van door.
Pulls off that blanket.
Pulls off the blanket, and he goes, I want to talk to you. I have to walk up the hill to his house. Bro, the dad reams into me for 2 hours. He's like, you've scared her eternally from playing sports. She will never play sports again. So if you were my age, I would choke you.
Wow.
And so I'm over here like, dude, could this day get any worse?
It's a little dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was one of my biggest L's.
Wow. Damn, dude. How did he find you? Did someone give you up or?
He never gave up.
Damn.
It was that persistence, boy.
Wow.
I know. So, okay. I want to just segue quick. I think we should run like 10 episodes. I think we should do it a bunch. Anytime we want to check in, we'll do one. Especially if you have stuff to promo. Oh, yeah. Tell them about your... Well, this will come out after your gig, but...
Yeah.
Abu's gigging tomorrow.
Yeah. We got a Summer Vibe. Shout outs to BT Livin'. They organized a cool event. I've seen on Instagram that they got these like big like blue like those water barrels that they put on like the highway to like protect like from crashes and stuff. They got like 20 of those and they're like painting them white. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with that. But
it's at the warehouse.
Warehouse 11 in Somerville. Yep, very cool spot. That's actually funny enough where we held the first one event.
What's one?
With Balance, like that's like we
word.
like get all these artists and
I
like,
didn't know you've organized events before.
yeah. And then we do them every year. This year it got a little delayed, so we're gonna do it in like January. But our theme is that like we get new artists from Boston every year, so it's like never the same artist like 2 years in a row, basically.
Good idea.
Yeah, and so that was that's like the brainchild of Marcelo, and he's like really passionate about bringing attention to all the independent artists from Boston. So it's a really cool thing. And then one year we had, do you know Prophet? He's a rapper from the Mystic Valley Project.
Profet.
Prophet.
I don't.
Yeah, shout outs Prophet and MP.
Shout out.
Yeah,
I'll look you guys up.
but like when they were performing, man, like they had like a really, really big crowd against them, and then like we turned the lights out, everyone had their phones out. It's like this really like raw, just like great moment. So that was like a really like highlight moment of like one of the one shows. Yeah.
And so you'll do another one coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna do another one. Hopefully, we're gonna have Ill Addicts on there.
You met them.
Yep, very cool guys. My dude Mellow God. And I think
you gotta look into K-Merc too. You'd really like K-Merc.
K-Merc, yeah. I fuck with him.
Stay on my dolly.
Yeah, I met him at Connor's show actually because he was like one of the openers. Yeah,
Right.
and he was just like a very
Nick
cool
Beth
guy.
performed too, right?
Yeah. She was killing it. Wow.
What? I'm sure she's pretty passionate, right?
Oh, yeah,
Seems
yeah.
They're pretty passionate. Trying to get better with the pronouns. Sorry, Mick.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Shout out Mick.
Quick segue before we end here. Sorry if I seem a little flat today, bro. My bad. I didn't sleep very much last
Dude,
night.
I did not either.
We should have just told each other at the start. I probably slept 2 hours.
When did you go to bed? Really?
Well, I just woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep. I was like, dude, Big Hollywood's coming.
Yeah. Yeah, I was DJing at the Middle East last night. Came home around like 1:30, and like I was in bed still sweating. Like all this adrenaline was like running through me, and I like probably didn't sleep till like 3 or 4. Woke up at 8. Yeah. But had my space juice with me, so.
But hey, we
chilling.
still got it done.
Yeah.
Oh, cold brew? That's what you were rocking with? That's
Yeah.
not space juice.
Well, what's yours? What's your daily?
I'll
order?
never tell you. I'll just get you one.
All right, I'll have to try it in person.
Yeah, you can make damn.
No, I'm very passionate about cold brew, man.
I don't know why, dude. I think
It's just-
I don't like the taste as much.
Really, I think it tastes way better than just like regular iced coffee.
I think there's a myth to it. I really don't think it's as concentrated.
Oh, it is. I mean, it depends on how you brew it. So, like, for a while, I brewed my own, cold brew.
At home?
Yeah, and so the
did
steps
it
that
hit?
oh yeah,
What'd you use, French press?
yeah. So what you do is you get like, I forget what the ratio is, but I think it's like 4 cups of water to 1 cup of like coffee grounds, and so you put it in there.
That's my issue.
Yeah, so your ratio might be off, but
My
your
ratio's
steep time
terrible.
might also be off. Because what I do is I put the coffee grounds in there, put the water in, put the French press in, but don't press it. Like leave it, like
And
at the
don't
top.
push yet.
Yeah, and then you put it in the fridge for 12 hours. That's the optimal like
And
cold
then you
brew
push
steep
down?
time. And then you push down, and then you can like put it to a separate container so you don't have all those like things floating around. But then
dude,
that's
I
when
thought
it
you wait
hits,
for
dude.
5 minutes.
That's regular coffee. You steep like hot water, like hot
What's
coffee.
happening chemically when you brew?
So
cold brew?
that's the key differentiating. I did a lot of research into this, but that's the key differentiating factor, right? When you brew coffee with hot water, something about the temperature releases the bitterness in the coffee. And so with cold brew, because you're doing it with cold water over an extended period of time, it doesn't release those like, or as much of those like bitter kind of like whatever particles those are. So it actually comes out tasting sweeter without having to like do any like add any sugars or sweeteners or anything like that.
We should get a coffee. Actually, I guess we already had one. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've been trying to do the French press at home, bro. But I just don't think that the coffee really has effect. It's
Yeah,
too
I would
watery.
so like even like 4-to-1 is like it's gonna come out very concentrated.
One teaspoon.
No, 1 cup of coffee
one
grounds.
cup.
Yeah,
of-
yeah.
So maybe
yeah.
I'm not doing enough coffee.
You
I'm
might
doing
not
like
be.
4 teaspoons,
I don't think that's enough. Not with how much water.
but they're already ground.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, like 6 cups of water.
Yeah, that's your
I'll just have to
ratio is
see
way
how you
off.
do
Then.
it.
Yeah, yeah. So if your like French press can support it, I would say do 1 cup of coffee grounds, cup, and then 4 cups of water. Let that sit and marinate.
That's that Abu sauce.
Press it, and then even then it's too concentrated. So a lot of people like to like dilute it and water it down. So like realistically, you're gonna get 4 cups of this like really concentrated coffee, but once you dilute it, you get about
But
6
that'll
or
make
8.
all the difference.
Yeah,
Those 4
yeah.
cups. Whoa.
Yeah.
Also, do you like my nickname for you?
What? Big Fresh? Yeah, yeah.
Big Fresh.
Yeah, Marcel actually hit me up. He's like, "Yo, like I love that he calls you that. Like that's a great name."
Big Fresh. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Dude.
I was thinking of one for a long time. I was like, what can I name this dude? But then I was
Well,
like,
what do you put as the emoji? It's like a cabbage, right?
I've been doing some lettuce.
Lettuce,
But I
yeah,
did
yeah.
kiwi yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. I like the greens, man. It's
That's what I'm saying. You're just fresh. You
it's
come in here dripping. And I can tell that your room at home's probably mad organized, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was actually just
That's-
cleaning yesterday.
That's that hashtag. Balance.
Oh, balance. Yeah. I mean, my philosophy is that like if you can keep your room and like whatever your workspace organized, and your like head is organized up here, and that's gonna allow you to be most productive.
That's part of the reason why I think I wasn't so focused this episode is because I didn't finish the Word document before this. I want to swallow this mic
yeah.
because
You ever watch Jimmy Neutron?
of course.
Have you seen? Yeah. Have you seen that one episode? It was like that evil scientist who never finishes anything.
No wonder he's evil.
Right? Yeah. I feel like that guy sometimes. I just have like all these like unfinished things, and I just go
And
crazy.
you just want to punch yourself in the mouth, right?
Yeah. It's like,
But not
why
punch
can't I
anyone else,
finish?
but only my own mouth. Okay. I wanted to talk about AI a little bit. I don't think we got enough time. We're going to get kicked out of here.
Jordan.
So next episode.
Next time, AI. Maybe we talk about some keto experiences,
Some diet stuff.
some diet stuff.
Well, yeah, and I'll be sharper next time, too, so we'll have a good intellectual conversation.
We'll both.
This was a good surface level conversation.
Yeah. We'll both be sipping on that space juice next time.
No, we'll do the homemade space juice.
Oh, better. Even better.
Quick question. You've been part of a bunch of different episodes, variety-wise. Is there
Yep.
one that's a stick out to you thus far?
Definitely Jack Gantos' episode. I was like,
hasn't dropped yet.
hasn't dropped yet. I was editing that yesterday, a couple days ago.
Crazy, right?
Wow, what a guy, man.
Could
What
you
a
tell
story.
how captivated I was? I was like, oh
Yeah,
my
dude.
God.
You're just locked in the whole time.
What a storyteller.
Yeah. And like I think that's what I was like so impressed by his, like, you know, this guy's an author, so he's just like naturally good at like storytelling. So he was like,
But it wasn't written. He
no, like
eloquent.
and like so vivid too. I could just like see like everything he was describing. When like he was talking about that boat and like being in the storm, I could just see those big like tall waves coming in over the like boat and like all that.
And he was cool with my jokes, man. He got
he was
them.
he was hip. He was hip for like, I don't know how old he is, but he already had like a daughter in college or something, or graduated college.
Yeah,
so
she went to NYU.
yeah. So he was pretty. It was a pretty hip
I kept
guy.
calling him Small Shirt. She was hilarious. Yeah, he was great. And then, yo, you're gonna do some music with Mikey Bonkers. That's dope.
Yeah. Hyped. I've been following some of the Anabolic Aliens workouts.
What is going on, aliens? I also found the footage from a medium shot, but we'll revisit that after.
Yeah.
We got
I was
some
cracking
stuff.
up at that photo of him with that ice cream in bed, the little promo pic.
He's absurd, bro. He's a creature.
Yeah.
Definitely driven though. I love talking to him. Okay, you know how we started in the episodes, but
Mhm.
but yeah, listen. This was a service for Abu's golden hour. For his platinum hour, his diamond hour. I haven't chosen what to do after diamond hour yet. Maybe like a ruby hour. What are all the Pokemon? What are all the Pokemon like Diamond, Pearl? Who cares?
I didn't really play Pokemon growing up.
That's why you're so nuts, man. All right. So you say, "Hey, I'm Abu. This is my golden hour."
Mhm.
You'd say, "Oh, I'm Big Fresh." And then after you say, "Hey, I'm Abu," and that was my golden hour.
Bet. All right. Which one should I do?
I mean,
should I do them to different? I mean,
you're gonna be the one editing it,
right,
so.
right. All right. Hi, I'm Abu, aka Big Fresh,
Big Fresh is in the building.
and this is my golden hour. I'll do
Great.
it to this one.
Wait, great guy,
Great guy. This is a great guy too. We're both great guys.
hard workers. Let's keep going.
Hey, I'm Abu, and that was my golden hour.